So joined here by Jess, who's just completed her 6-week challenge. So if we start off with a wee headline, Jess, what is the kind of most significant change that you've seen?
I suppose kind of physically, like my shape has changed quite dramatically for me in 6 weeks. But I think mentally, that's probably the biggest shift. Just feeling like seeing, I suppose, what I need to do to get results, and that being clearer than maybe other attempts to kind of get fit or lose a bit of weight or change my shape. That knowing, exactly what I need to do in terms of my diet, and then just kind of doing the 3 classes plus or minus a bit more, that I can get the results I want in an enjoyable way.
So what's, in terms of clothes sizes then, what have you managed to achieve in 6 weeks?
I've dropped 2 clothes sizes in 2 weeks.
But what people might think is that you've lost in terms of weight wise. How much weight did we say?
Just about 8 pounds.
About 8 pounds, which is no mean feat at all in 6 weeks. But I think from more significant for you is actually the shape change, right?
Yeah, and I think that my goal was to lose around half a stone. I kind of felt that would get me closer to where I wanted to be. So cool. I kind of hit my target in the 6 weeks.
Awesome. So take us back. Like, why did you join here in the first place?
Well, I'm obviously not from here, so I was keen to join something local. I'm not a big fan of gyms, but I felt this would be a bit different. I was finding it hard to stay focused. I tend to do kind of more cardio, so it was not really knowing about strength and that side, and kind of having a bit of guidance and having structure. I was motivated to have something that would, I do well with accountability, so having to be somewhere at a certain time, I knew that would push me and motivate me.
Okay, cool. And how did you feel before you started?
I suppose in terms of physically, I suppose just a wee bit sluggish, and I tend to exercise anyway, but not kind of feeling like I was progressing, just quite static in terms of that level of fitness. And I suppose clothes wise, I suppose I locked down a lot more wearing of leggings anyway, but then kind of not feeling that great in my clothes, so just keen to just feel a bit more confident again in myself.
Because I was looking at one of the things that's changed most for you in your progress tracker, and when you look at things like sleep, digestion, energy levels, have you noticed that?
Definitely, and I'm not always a great sleeper, but I feel just with the classes, and I've been doing my kind of recommended the bits of cycling and running kind of the other days, and just when I get into bed, hit the pillow, that's me out till the morning, which helps every other. Then the motivation to exercise and eat well just is better when I'm sleeping a bit better.
Awesome. So for a lot of people, you maybe finish the 6 weeks and then they think, oh, thank God that's over. But how do you feel about it going forwards?
No, quite the opposite. I think I said this last week when I kind of finished, that I never had that kind of on-off mentality that I maybe had before when I'm trying to be a bit healthy, that I've kind of made, I feel, sustained changes that I feel kind of, that was just the start of kind of just getting back in my whole outlook towards, like, I don't feel like it's been a diet, like I wasn't tracking my food, I was just using the kind of tips that you gave and just eating the right foods, and I never felt like when I was out for meals or even going out for a drink I was off it. It was just kind of keeping that focus, and I feel like even now this week I don't feel anything's different than last week having finished. Which is
that's
good.
Awesome. So what would you say, if you had to sum it up to somebody, like, what's different about Fit Body Farm compared to other things?
I think in terms of the group classes, I feel is probably the big thing in terms of it feels like a really inclusive environment, which I think in gyms, like, I am a fit person, I've always exercised, but I feel sometimes gyms it's kind of like you just don't fit in, whereas I feel like here anyone who has any kind of interest in either getting fit, losing weight, or even just meeting some nice people who want to have a good time exercising, I feel this is the place to go, and it's on a farm, which is just really cool.
Awesome.
And in terms of even social distance, I was nervous kind of coming in, because I work in a hospital, and just nervous kind of coming to somewhere where there'll be other people, but it's very safe, and that was a big thing for me just with the current climate.
Awesome. All right, well done.
So delighted. So join Fit Farm.